Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. Before we dive into today's show, guys, just a quick reminder, Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off your Chelsea kits. Link is in the description. You get your names, your numbers, whatever you want. Blue Brother, use that code at checkout, 20% off. Link in the description, Jersey's FC Soccer Shop, guys. Make sure you check it out. Yeah. Here we are, another day, another PR brief, and another message of how unserious we are as a football club. What a complete and utter shambles. What a complete and utter disgrace. And not a surprise either. Not a surprise either. We have got plenty to dive into, guys. Winstanley and Stewart, they're safe. They retain the trust of the Chelsea hierarchy. Of course they do, because they're doing the exact job that they're being asked to carry out. So, of course, these guys retain the full trust. Of course they do. We've got the latest on Chelsea's view of Enzo Maresca and how they're building the club around his style. We've also got news on when the next Pochettino-style review is going to be for Maresca. Apparently, that's going to take place in the summer of 2026. We are so unserious, it kills me. Get these guys out now. Blueco out, Clearlake out, directors out, everybody out, because this is an absolute shambles. But let's dive into it, guys. The Athletic doing a deep dive, well, I say a deep dive, being basically writing a piece of information that they've been given. Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart retain the full trust of the Chelsea ownership, despite the criticism frequently directed at them from supporters. Well, there we go. Exhibit 101. Chelsea are not a serious football club. Chelsea will never be a serious football club again if we continue to employ these directors and if we continue to implement the same model that we are implementing now. We are going absolutely nowhere as a club. And this stems from the top, guys, because these guys, because the ownership have enabled these two idiots, Winstanley and Stewart, they've enabled them to retain this job because they are carrying out what is being asked from them from above. These guys have never put an elite level squad together ever. How these guys even ended up in this position is beyond me. You know, we went to Winstanley's never built anything decent. Lawrence Stewart, we went to Monaco and we took the worst guy. Paul Mitchell, who's at Newcastle now, miles better than Lawrence Stewart. Why have we got two directors? Name me another club that's got two sporting directors. No accountability. You know, no one takes responsibility for anything. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. And we are so unserious right now. So unserious. What is it going to take for these guys to go? What is it going to take for these guys to go? Because what they seemingly do not understand, the directors, the ownership, is that intangibles don't appear on a spreadsheet. You don't get, there's no quantifiable data for character, for leadership, for experience, for winning mentality. That doesn't appear on the data. That doesn't appear on the balance sheet. That doesn't appear anywhere. Those are things you either have or you don't have, and it's not quantifiable by data. And this data-led approach just completely overlooks all of those things. All of those things. And yet we wonder why we're in such a mess. It's incredible how literally everyone can see it. Rival fans, media, Chelsea fans themselves can see that what we're doing is not working and won't work. And yet the only people that don't see it are the ones that are actually making the decisions. It's absolutely mind-blowing, guys. Absolutely mind-blowing. There were some quotes from a Rafael Varane interview that came out today. And he's talking about, obviously, Man United and Real Madrid. But the principle's the same. You know, I tweeted it out here. You know, incredible how literally everyone can see it apart from the people making the decisions. We're finished unless this approach changes. Simple as that. And this is it here. Varane uses structuring a squad as an example of the club's differing approaches. At Madrid, you can see that for years there's been a framework. A player is added, some leave, but there's always a solid foundation. Where's our solid foundation? Not there. When you recruit young, talented players, they have to learn before they can play. Facts. It gives them time to develop. When I arrived at the age of 18, I had no responsibilities in the dressing room. I was just there to learn. At United, they can recruit a very young, expensive player and immediately play him. With all the responsibilities in an extremely difficult league, he's got a huge weight on his shoulders straight away. That is exactly the same as what is happening at Chelsea right now. These young players shouldn't have any responsibilities in the dressing room. They should just be there to learn and develop and get experience as players. But now these guys are coming in. You have to chuck them in straight away into a difficult league, and they've got huge weight on their shoulders straight away. It's not right. It's not right. It's not fair, and is not conducive to building a winning squad, and it's not conducive to winning now. This approach doesn't work. So why are we persisting with something that simply does not work? How many more years do we need to waste? How many more years of mediocrity do we need to have until these guys realize you can't win like this? You can't win like this. You know, there's a reason why no squad or no team has ever won with this way of putting a squad together before, because it doesn't work. So why this ownership came in and thought that they could, you know, change the trend of time and change history in football and achieve success this way? The only success they're achieving is on the balance sheet. That is it. And quite frankly, that's the only success they seem to be worried about. And, you know, people are talking about changing the model. We have to move above that now. It's quite clear that these guys are not going to change the model. This has to go to the very top. This has to go to the very top. And look, I've mentioned changing the model as a possibility. No, it's no longer. This has to go to the top. And that is where we have to aim, at the top. And we have to make it very clear that these guys are ruining this football club. And unless it changes, we are absolutely finished. I mean, to move on to other stuff in regards to Enzo Maresca, there's a few more bits and pieces in that situation. You know, again, this just sums up how shambolic we are. The next Pochettino-style review, led by Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, has always been projected to take place in the summer of 2026, and there is no appetite to bring that forward. Why are these guys leading a review? Why is everyone having a review apart from the two guys that are leading the review? Because these guys have failed with Pochettino. They could fail with Maresca. They have shown that they can't build a squad that's capable of competing and winning. And yet these guys are carrying out reviews, right? And remember we were told, you know, they're working round the clock, 16, 17-hour days. All this bullshit. These guys are inept, incompetent, and severely out of their depth. These men are in the deep end with no armbands on. You know, they're treading water. They're struggling to stay above the surface. And yet they're absolutely fine. They can do whatever they want, and their job's not in danger, you know, whilst the manager has to undergo reviews, whilst the manager is the one that has to speak to the media all the time. Where are these guys? Where are your interviews? You know, you did one interview where you just patted yourselves on the back and just chatted utter nonsense. Where's your media duties? Why are you not speaking to the media about the strategy, about the recruitment, about the transfer windows that have been dreadful the last two? Where are you? Where are you? And, you know, we're going to get a review supposedly in the summer of 2026. Well, what's that going to do? How can we trust the guys leading the review? You know, Maresca is clearly not being listened to. Maresca is clearly not being given what he's asked for. And he's having to make do with what he's got. And it looks like, once again, that probably another manager is going to be used as a shield, and another manager is going to become the fall guy for the incompetency coming from above. And Gary Neville was spot on with what he said after the Brighton game. The pressure shouldn't be on the manager. The pressure should be on those above. It has to be on those above. The manager's not blameless, by the way. The manager's not getting a free pass. He has to do better, and he's doing things wrong, and he's making mistakes. And maybe he isn't the guy. But right now, with the ownership how it is and the hierarchy how it is, it doesn't matter which manager is in the dugout. We're going to be having these same conversations, and whatever manager it is going to be having those same issues as well. And you know what are Chelsea basing these views on? What are Chelsea basing these views on here? Chelsea view Enzo Maresca's style as a route to success, and they're building the club around it. They believe it suits the players they've signed and the ones they intend to sign in the future. A style of football they believe offers the best chance of transforming this vast recruitment project into a consistent winner on the pitch at the highest level. No one knows what it takes to win, to be a consistent winner at the highest level. No one. This ownership have never been involved in football at the highest level. This manager has got limited experience at the highest level. These players have hardly won anything at the highest level. And yet we've got the club briefing that they believe that this manager, they see this style as a route to success. They have to say that because you appointed him. You're not going to come out and say, "Oh, we don't see him as a route to success." We're building the club around it. What exactly are we building? Because we're not building a squad that's going to compete and win major honours anytime soon. So what are we building? We're just building a profitable football club. We're just building a squad where we can just flip players and make money and constantly move 4 or 5 pieces in and out of the squad every transfer window. You know, we're not transforming anything. This recruitment project has not worked, and it won't work as far as I'm concerned. I cannot see us being consistent winners and competing at the highest level for a long, long time, which is why this protest is so important. It's why the message has to be sent to those above. The message has to be clear, concise. Blueco out, Clearlake out. We demand change. We are not accepting what's going on here. And this is just the beginning of what will be a tough battle, but a battle that is one very much worth fighting if you care about this football club. And like many Chelsea fans are worried in the direction that we're going in under this ownership, because we are so unserious. So unserious, it hurts. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts on the latest Chelsea news, the latest roundup. They're executing the plan at the end of the day, you know, and in the club's eyes, they're successfully doing it. So yeah, that's where we are. They're taking the advice from the owners. Why would they change? Why would they change these directors when they're doing exactly what they want them to do? Which is why Blueco needs to go, Clearlake needs to go, and that is where all this energy needs to be directed. Anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts. Love for tuning in as always. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, all that good stuff. I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.